Hi, I'm Miranda HP.
And I'm Connor Calloway.
And together we are
the Bountiful Bards.
Thanks for tuning in to our one-on-one D&D podcast,
The Fountains of Cathaidra. Is a bard that loves to play in a folk world.
Weren't you the one who was always like, Miranda, don't even think about songs that exist. You'll get us copyright struck.
Yes, I did. But I was feeling one of those. You know, every time we do this, and we've been doing this for 2 years now.
Oh, boy.
Has it been 2 years?
I don't know. You're the one in charge of that.
Right, but every time we're about to start and you're about to hit that play button, I just have the largest surge of imposter syndrome. And I'm sitting here like, what am I doing? I don't know how to DM. What is this? What am I doing? This is not who I am. And then you point at me like I got to start talking, so I have to come up with something random to make myself calm down a little bit. So,
but consider this. Are you even good enough for imposter syndrome?
I don't even think I'm good enough for imposter syndrome. I appreciate that, dear. Thanks for that extra layer of anxiety you've added to that.
Hey, you know what? If you have enough layers, you just like slides off, like shellac.
I'm not like that way, though.
No.
I'm more sticky than anything than I am, like lubricated. I don't self-lubricate.
Oh, well, maybe you should work on that.
I biologically can't.
I'm sorry. I feel like we're getting into some extremely uncomfortable territory for this.
I just know I forgot to hit my little clock stopwatch thingy, so I know where we are in the episode. Tick, there we go. Few free minutes and all that other fun stuff. Hello, dear. How are you doing today?
I'm okay. How about you?
Doing just fine. Miranda and I lost power last night because somebody hit a telephone pole not too far from here. I think they're okay. We don't know. The announcement wasn't done, but we did it. We had a little wine, and we did a seance in this house that's almost 100 years old. It's actually 99 now. No, 98. That was a mistake. So now there is a ghost loose somewhere in this house. So if you hear any cackling in the background, it is it's a situation we're working on, yet to have overcome.
Is that what we did?
Did we not do that?
No, I don't think so, but
we had the Ouija board out and everything. Well, those are mahjong tiles, but still, same thing.
Fair enough. You summoned a ghost with mahjong tiles.
All right, Miranda, you have some announcements for us?
I do?
No, you don't. I have the announcements.
Announcements, yeah.
Once again, thank you, dear. That's a nice little jingle. Nice little segue. Once again, we are taking November and December off from recording. We are unsure if an episode will be coming out in November. It may or it may not. It kind of all depends on how we play today. But I feel like today is going to be our last recording session. And if not, we may be able to pull off another one next week just to try and, once again, get to the point in the story where it's not a heavy cliffhanger, because I don't plan for us to come back to recording until Miranda, I was thinking January 15th, which is like the second weekend of January. That way we can really get into the new year, get the routines going again after the holidays, and then we can start playing again. What do you think of that?
I think we'll play it by ear, because who knows what the future holds.
Well, technically, because we can't see each other because of our setup now, we are playing by ear as it is. So, okay, this pun was brought to you by Connor. It was not a pun. It was just a terrible joke. Minor delay on the book Audible, but never fear. The train is still chugging along. I had some other instances come up in the life that couldn't be ignored in my actual job that feeds our family. So, and Miranda as well. But hey, we can knock it out when we can. This is just a beautiful hobby of ours. And
he meant that we both had incidents come up in our actual jobs, not that he is feeding the family. Oh, and also me as an afterthought.
That's true. Miranda also feeds this family. In fact, she's the one that buys most of the food for our family, which is just a dog, 2 cats, and now this ghost.
Yeah, and you. You eat a lot more than a ghost does.
That's true. What are we naming the ghost? Charles?
I think we have to wait until it tells us its name.
I'm not talking to the ghost. I'm going to ignore it's there.
Okay, the cats will find it.
Indeed. Oh, get a good stretch in. All right. You ready to get into it?
I'm ready.
Leah, last time, you said to the arch-cleric, be our guest. Be our guest. Put my dishes to the test, have a sip of bit of poison, and then you'll go to sleep and have some rest.
It wasn't poison.
It was, what would you call it then?
I would call it a sedative, which is not poison.
All right, a sedative is a better word.
Because I specifically went out of my way to make sure it wasn't poison, because I know that, they could potentially nullify it or detect it. And I was trying to be like, we're going au naturel.
That is true. It's like I don't even use the word sedative when it comes to melatonin. I call it a suggestion.
Well, it's because it's not a sedative.
What is it?
It is a nutritional supplement.
It's a sleep supplement is what it is.
Well, yeah, but your body makes it naturally. Anyway, we're getting derailed.
Derailed. I told you this train keeps chugging.
So, yes, I was a French or French adjacent, whatever we've decided France is in this world.
Non-existent.
But
just like
I
France.
wanted to be French, thank you.
With your good friend Caslin as your assistant, the jewel crafter, the two of you were able to pull off a little bit of a heist together with Candle, who was in her church official clothing and one of her many disguises apparently, and she helped lift the key to the fountain off the arch-cleric, just like you did before. And upon grasping it, you felt the location of the entrance, at least, to the fountain.
It was a very bed knobs and broomsticks thing with
What do you mean?
Well, in Bed Knobs and Broomsticks, where they're going to leave the land at the end, and the male character, he gets the pendant from the king, the lion, he just like pats him on the shoulder and he's complimenting him and stuff, and he switches it out for the medal that they won for their soccer game or whatever.
Oh yeah, I remember that now. Yes, indeed.
It just made me think of that the whole time. It was just really funny, especially because she's a bunny person.
I do recall. I think I do roughly recall, actually. It's been a while since we watched that movie. But, let's see. Anyways, to set the scene, after you two were able to lift off this item, you made your way outside the side guest door of the guest manor. I hate it when I use the word twice in the same paragraph. And you are now back in the upper courtyard, nestled in the corner between the main manor and the guest manor. Tell me, what would you like to do?
Well, I'm going to see if Candle's got any ideas on where to go next, because judging by the churchy outfit, she probably knows this stuff a little better than she's pretended to let on, I guess. So I'm going to basically look over her and say, suggestions?
She's no longer in her churchly attire.
Yeah, I know, but she had been in it.
Right.
That's what I meant.
She removed her churchly attire and is now back in her stealthy gear, her grays and browns and
we
whatnot.
took off our chef's whites. Yes.
Right, yes. You all have done that. No assassin in white tonight.
Not tonight.
Candle goes, our next target is the lady Anessa Kota, who is located in this house here before us. And she gestures to this building in front of you, which is an easy 2 stories tall. Really high. You're looking at the side of the building now. There is no doorway there. Hardly any windows as well. But you can see there's this very large wraparound building that goes around the entire circumference of the top portion of the castle. And that is what you see before you. Now, I can provide you a little map. Would you like that?
Always. Maps are good.
Maps are good. Give me one second.
They don't love you like I love you.
Now the song's stuck in my head. Thank you, dear.
You're welcome.
What am I going to do with this? You want me to start singing it now?
No.
Wait. Damn it.
Whoa, that's cool.
Isn't it? Don't move around.
I'm not doing anything. I was just zooming out.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Yes, it's a map I made for you.
Oh, thank you.
So in the L-shaped crux of this building, you see, first and foremost, the main manor. And looking to the right, there are 2 guards posted outside the main manor, which is where your character is, towards the bottom right. The manor is to your right. Sorry, that was probably all over the place, wasn't it?
Yeah, I'm not sure what I'm looking at here then.
You were looking at... Let me go back.
Because I felt like I was looking at a particular room.
You were. So I took you back to the main map.
Okay.
You're located, I would say, around this area, right, which is in front of the guest building, and you're looking at this L-shaped building in front of you. That little garden, there's a little bit of a garden pad right here in the crux of this L.
Mm-hmm.
And over here we have a set of... the main manor seems to be right here, and that's where Candle's pointing. And then there also seems to be another entrance / main manor in front of you as well. So this whole L-shaped crux seems like a giant mansion that somewhere inside is the lady, Anessa.
Okay, where is the... So is this the newer build or some of this the older build? Like the against the wall of it is the older build and the one that juts out is the newer build?
Yes, I would definitely say that.
Okay, so in the one that's the older build, where is the servant entrance slash dump the poo out slash weeblet door?
Absolutely. So, looking like rephrasing, sorry to be all over the place, everybody. The building to your right, you don't see any doorways on here. Like, it all just looks like sheen windows, no doorways or anything like that. The only place you can ascertain is an entrance is actually down here located by the letter C. You see that?
Yeah.
And now I'm going to switch over to the other map. Just to kind of give you an idea.
Man, these people had no fire codes then, I guess.
No fire codes. This is like medieval stuff. They don't believe in fire codes. If things... Actually, they did. If they very well knew if you don't put a fire out, it'll burn the whole city. All right. So now where you're located, the sticking out little portion you see in front of you is that where that letter C is, where the upper courtyard is of the castle.
Gotcha.
Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
And then there was the hallway that reached back towards the back wall of the castle where the rest of the building was built.
Mm-hmm.
And as you can see, if you head north in this picture, you would hit that back walkway. And then you have this main building over here to your left on the map. And so anyways, this is essentially the map that you can be working with. And based on what you see here, tell me what you would like to do. You're in a stone courtyard-esque area. There's a few potted plants in front of you. The structure of the building is very well made. It's beautiful. And over to your right, it looks like you can even see there seems to be some type of walled-in garden aesthetic. So there's nobody around at this moment that you can tell from.
So I gave Teft, that's his name, right? Teft?
Yes, the druid.
Tuft,
yes.
Tuft. So I gave Tuft a bunch of, like, marbles to lay out beneath, like, in the sewers, right?
I cannot recall. If you have that in your notes, I'm not going to disagree with you.
No, because I think I asked him to put them places so that I could... Green Orb is Tuft.
Mm-hmm.
So, can I guess using the wand of locate object, can I detect any of those around?
You're going to use a wand of locate object? How many, I know it's full charge. How many charges is on that item? I want to make sure we keep count. 4, so you use one of the charges?
Yeah.
Okay. You cast it, and I think it's 1,000 feet.
Mm-hmm.
And you very well can detect over in this storm drain, sewer drain-esque area in this little stone courtyard that you see, you do detect one just below it.
Okay. So that means, and I'll point it out to Candle and mention that could be a potential egress. I don't know so much about ingress.
Candle, as you pointed out to her, she's her ears has been up and twitching, like searching. And her head has been looking like at the roof and on the walls, making sure nobody's watching them. And as you get her attention and she looks over, she's like, yes, storm drains. Sewers, both, yes. We could use them to escape if need be. Entrance could be a possibility as well. I don't particularly like crawling around in sewers, but if we must, we must.
Any other ideas?
We can also try and go in through the building, but I feel like that may be difficult.
I agree.
Maybe we should survey the garden first, try and get our bearings, and then take a glance at the storm drain.
All right.
Aslan's like, yeah, I can do that.
I'll agree with that. And as we make our stealthy approach,
Ooh.
I want to see if the fountain key is tugging me in any particular direction.
Believe it or not, you are getting a northwest vibe coming from it. Like, you probably can't see this circle.
Up there?
Did you see a circle in the blackness?
Yeah.
Yeah, somewhere up in that area. And that's just a direction. That's not a specific point.
Okay. I'll, mention that we need to go northwest.
Kendall goes, why do we need to go northwest?
That's where I'm being pulled.
Is that where the lady is? Is that where the artifact is?
It might be. Actually, that's a good idea. Well, she says that. I'm going to use the wand of locate object again to... So the thing can sense intent, right?
Yes.
So I'm going to fixate my intent on the designer that made the Anointed Lady's shoes/slippers. And I'm going to locate her within the slippers, thinking only about, wow, it would be really nice to be able to get a pair of shoes like hers.
That would be brilliant if you knew who made them. And
that's what I'm saying. I want to know who they are, so I'm...
That's not how that spell works,
No.
unfortunately.
I'm locating her, but my intent is going to be sort of a, I wonder where she gets her shoes. So
Okay.
It's not malicious or I'm taking something from you. It's just more of a, girl, what are those?
Now, it's a brilliant idea, but
I don't know if it's going to work.
I do not think I can... of course. You're being very creative and clever, but this is one of the ones where the DM has to go, it's a good idea. I have to say, no, you can't find her random shoes that she may be wearing. That would probably not work, but I'm not going to make you waste a spell slot or a fuel to realize that. So
I'm not trying to find her shoes. I am focusing my intent on that so that the mirror that detects intent would pick up somebody who is really interested in shoes.
Okay, what object are you trying to locate?
I'm, like her. Like, I can't use it to locate people?
No, unless Leah considers all people to be an object. But no, you can't. Objects are not what's the word I'm looking for? They are, when they're non-living, inanimate objects.
Inanimate? Okay.
Yes. You could possibly...
She's the anointed? Huh?
You could locate the mirror itself if you wanted to.
I feel like that would be really aggressively direct. I'm going to ask Candle if the mirror is, like, held in a box of some kind. Like, if it has a carrying case, or if the Anointed Lady always wears a specific piece of jewelry or something in particular.
Candle's ears twitch at this, and she says, she is usually very low appearance. Sleek designs, mundane, no friff or, fluff to any of her appearance. She doesn't wear any rings that I know of. I've never seen her wear jewelry, maybe an earring a time or two.
No badge of office,
No badge of office. Everybody seems to know who the lords and ladies are, with their entourages and such. They don't need to wear their crowns if they have any or anything like that. They simply just need to be present and hold the presence before them.
And the mirror is not held in any kind of case?
No, I do not recall a case when we acquired it in the woods.
Was it in a frame?
The mirror is in a frame. Yes, it is in a wooden frame, but it was that the entire object is encompassed within this. The entire object is encompassed within the frame, the mirror, all of it. There was not a speck of dust on it when we found it. It was untarnished.
Man, I was going to try to locate the frame and hope that would be distinct from the actual mirror.
Oh, I understand.
Because I'm afraid if I locate the thing itself, it will...
Roll an Arcana check.
Okay.
Because you seem to be flailing here, and I'm going to try and help.
Let's see, Arcana... Wow, I have +5 to Arcana. That's a 16.
There you go. With the DC of 15 on this, you recall with your conversation with Tuft that the mirror helps locate or sense intent for the person using it, not the mirror itself being sentient in any form. So you would roughly guess it would be okay to use your wand of locate object to locate the mirror without alerting anybody.
Okay, I will do so.
Okay, so you take out the wand and you knock off another charge, and as you give it a quick wave, you sense the mirror is
swish and flick
to your northeast, in the main in the building to your right, which is not seen here on the map. But if you remember the L-shaped portion of it, you can sense it up there, and about the second floor, I would say.
Okay.
Caslin goes, so I just looked around the corner over here, and there's 2 guards in front of the main entrance. I kind of think the storm drain idea is the best bet, especially if it'll lead us like into like any of these rooms. You know, we can get in from the inside instead of just bullying our way through guards, and I'm sure the help is still out cleaning and stuff like that. So that's my insight. I don't know if that's any good or not. What do y'all think?
Sounds reasonable, but so we checked out the garden, and it was like, eh.
Well, yeah, you can walk over. You want to walk over to the
No,
garden?
I'm asking because I thought that
you have not yet. You haven't done anything.
Oh, I thought Caslin was saying I could do that, and I thought he went off to do that, but
no. If you look at the map, he went to go look around this corner in the bottom.
Okay,
which is the front of the house where he says there's 2 guards standing post.
So I suppose let's check out the garden.
All right. You go along the cobblestone wall, or the walls of the mansion, to reach a 3-foot cobblestone wall where you could easily see over the top if you wanted to, if not for the additional 2 feet of hedge that is growing up above it. Eventually get to a beautiful stone alabaster archway, where as soon as you go to look inside, there is a beautiful lawn of well-trimmed grass. These flower bushes that the dew of them are gleaming in the moonlight from above. There is a beautiful alabaster fountain there, 4-sided, that is a hodgepodge, excuse me. Just a conglomeration of 4 maidens that are pouring from these pitchers that are going into each of these 4 fountains. There's also a well here to your left, an alabaster beautiful stone well with a mahogany arch that has a bunch of carved filigree at the top.
Does the architecture of the well and the fountain look old?
Roll me a perception check.
16 again.
16 again. They look newer, for sure.
Okay. The wells have to connect to something, so the well might be a more direct route than trying to pry up the storm drain.
That sounds good. Kendall's going to do a quick perception check as well, just to kind of look around. That's a 15 plus her. Okay. There's no one here. That would be a good idea. I have had wells make connections before. Usually in a city, they are all connected together in an artificial cistern. Caslin. Yeah. You can lower me down. Can you 2 handle me? I'm kind of heavy.
Yes, probably.
Probably? Okay.
We'll create like a pulley system with each other.
Kendall goes, there's a pulley system on top of the well.
Easy peasy, see? Easy
peasy. So Caslin goes over, he ties himself off, and he's going to begin to lower himself down. I want you to roll me an athletics check with advantage because you have Kendall with you.
And the whole pulley on the well thing.
Mm-hmm.
18.
18. You 2 are easily able to get him up and over and cranking it down. There's a little bit of a squeak when you first start, and you're both like cringe a little bit, but as you go, it just seems to be the initial dust from being unused for a while as the pulley begins to lower him down. After a few minutes, you hear, yeah, you're right. There's about a 4-foot walkway down, a 4-foot tunnel down here, about 2 feet wide. We could definitely use if y'all want to come down. It goes on for a little bit. I can kind of hear myself echoing down here.
Okay.
Kendall looks up at you with her big rabbit-like eyes and goes, "You're next."
All right.
It says, "I cast Featherfall."
Yeah, probably.
No, you don't have to do that. I'm being funny.
Well, it would make it easier.
It would. It's up to you. I'm not going to tell you what you can or can't do, that's for sure.
Well, how is she going to get down?
You ask her that?
Yeah.
I'm very good at climbing. I can get myself down.
Yeah, I think I'll just Featherfall just to make my life easier.
Yep. Up and over. What does it look like when you cast Featherfall?
Sort of like a you get like a slight swarm of golden notes that just sort of swirl around my feet.
Ooh, I love that. As you step off?
Yep, and it does like a very light harp glissando, like very quiet.
What are the components of that spell? It's
verbal and material.
Verbal and material. What is the material? Like, you don't have to use it, but I am curious what they have for that. Is it a feather?
Probably.
I don't really much care for...
Featherfall components. It doesn't say what the components... small feather or piece of down.
Down? What's down? Like duck down for blankets?
Like goose down, yeah.
Oh,
Eider
yeah.
down.
Cool. All right. Awesome. So, yeah, no need to actually have the components. As a DM, I never care for components unless there's a price value to any spell, because that's understandable, like Hero's Feast. So yeah, you reach into like your pocket, and what pulls out to be what seems to be like a golden illuminated feather that's made of magic. And since it's verbal, what kind of noises are you making? Are you humming, or is it just a light tune, a breathy tune? What does it sound like?
Yeah, sort of just like a and I'm free falling. Just very quietly, just kind of hum it under my breath.
As you pull it out, the golden magic that you talk about just caresses from your fingers as if, you're just casually strolling them across the fret of strings. And as you do so, touching the air with your fingers, there's these little dabbles of musical notes or musical symbols that do indeed spiral around your body and then down around your feet as you step off and you begin to plummet. Plummet's not the best word, is it? You begin to descend very slowly. And as you do so, you note that as you pass the first layer of the alabaster stone that's all smooth, from then on out, you get to the older stone, which definitely looks like it was hard chipped and chiseled away with a bunch of rough edges, with some mildew on it and some mold and some like moss growing and stuff. And you think to yourself, this was probably a good idea, because if you fail, you would have definitely scraped yourself up pretty bad.
Yeah, and plus I just didn't want to waste the time.
Oh yeah, nobody wants to waste time. About 20 feet down, you hear Caslin go, "Leah, step here. And as you do, you catch yourself on a ring of stone that is built around the bottom of this well. And then you look down inside this ring, and that's where a lot of the water is. And you see Caslin over there that is standing upright, because he's not 4 feet tall, in a tunnel that you kind of have to hunch to get into.
Okay.
You wait a few minutes.
Because the Wand of Locate Object, it lasts for what, 10 minutes?
I think so. Let me know.
It might be 10 minutes. It might be an hour. I can't remember.
Yeah. While you're looking it up, Caslin goes, "This is really exciting. Like, I didn't think we were going to get this far, to be honest. I thought we'd get caught."
Right?
You did really good as a cook. I just want to tell you that. I thought you were amazing.
Aw, thank you.
Of course. Did I do okay as your assistant?
Oh, excellent. Yeah, it's 10 minutes. So,
You've used 2 minutes.
So, do I get a better sense of direction on the mirror?
You still believe it is to the northeast. You're not going to get lost in these tunnels in the next 8 minutes. You're going to have a good idea of where you need to go. And a few minutes later, you have Candle comes down, and she is very quiet as she climbs down. And you just barely hear the pads of her feet as she, hunkers down next to you, and her ears twitch, and she's like, it's just like the burrows I grew up in.
Do you have any marking chalk?
None needed. I have a very good sense of direction.
I meant more for just tracing where we were, just in case.
I do. Caslin, if you don't mind, can you two see? No, I don't even know if Candle can see. Hold on 1 second. Let me look up Candle while you look. I know
Leah can't unless she is using
dark vision.
Prestidigitation, probably.
Yeah, Candle cannot see in the dark either. Lupines do not have... Lupines? Is that what it is?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they do not have any... what am I trying to say? Any dark vision, so... Alright. Y'all want to strike a torch? I'm kind of afraid, the smells might give us away. I don't have anything I can do.
You create a non-magical trinket or an illusory image that can fit in your hand and last until the end of your next turn. So that's only 6 seconds. But I'm just going to basically constantly have...
Prestidigitation?
Yeah, just like an orb, because I want it to be dim light. I don't want it to be aggressive.
See, so here's the thing about prestidigitation I've always was curious about. It does, if I allow it to do like illusionary light, it does kind of spill over into the light cantrip. But here's the thing: it also says that you can create an object. But is that object like disappear in like 6 seconds? Because the way I've always thought about it is like, if you're a teacher and you're a professor wizard in a college, and you go up to the chalkboard and then snap your fingers and boom, you have a nice piece of chalk. Like, do you have to keep every 6 seconds, or do you keep the chalk until you're done with it?
See, what if it's like intent based? Like, my intent is to, like, once I drop my intent of this prestidigitation, it goes away.
It's also, and think of also like with the food and stuff, like it says it warms your food, or it warms water, or it cleans you up, I feel like, yeah, there's a bit of a concentration aspect to, there's a bit of a concentration aspect to prestidigitation, but you're doing a locate object still as well. So you wouldn't be able to do anything like that. So this is what I will do.
Oh, that's right.
I got you. Don't worry. Don't worry. Naturally, you have a master thief with you, and she has a hooded lantern, which she immediately strikes up. A red light emits outward, and it's very dim, and it's directional.
Perfect.
And Candle goes, "Shall I lead the way, or Caslin, would you like to lead the way?" Caslin goes, "I can do it. Yeah, I'll do it. I'll look for traps and stuff as we go, too."
Probably a good idea. I will tap him on the shoulder and say, "You got this, buddy," and give him bardic inspiration.
Ooh, Caslin gets bardic inspiration. I will take that and notate that here. And you remind me in case you ever feel like he needs to use it. As you touch his shoulder when you do that, you do feel a pulse of who you are, your essence, that fourth part of your soul, body, and mind, your magic. Just reach out and touch his.
Reach out and touch
and you see him smile, because people cannot help when a bard, as you've noticed, become inspired by you. And you've done it, all throughout your life without even knowing it. As he smiles, it just creates an elation in people. And
it's just a rush of dopamine.
Would it be? Yeah. And is it safe to say that's something that Leah just kind of lives for?
Probably. It's like that, when you listen to music that gives you goosebumps.
Yeah, I like that.
That's what it actually is it's your body processing a crap ton of dopamine all at once. That's what that feeling is.
Ooh, giving me goosebumps just saying that. All right. You begin to make your way forward, and
making our way.
As you do so, you see a column of moonlight that is bifurcated. No, that means split in half. That is latticed with the iron grate above you, and you are now at that storm drain talked about earlier. And it's here that you are since there's been no rain recently, or last rain I think was a couple of days ago. It is damp down here, but there seems to be no water. As you make your way forward to a crossroads, you could go straight, left, or right. And based on your locate object, you believe you either need to go straight or left.
And from the key that I'm holding, do I sense a tug in a different direction?
You do. So let's say this. Miranda, you're Leah right now. Look at me. Let's say that your husband in front of you, I'm the beam of moonlight that you are now at, which is the crossroads. Look at me. Look at my hands be moonlight. Is that moonlight?
Sure.
Okay. You feel to your front left is where the mirror is. But you feel back behind you to your left with the key.
Turning around the way I came, or down a different tunnel?
Right. So you're kind of going away from it. So if you can go forward or you can go left, you're still going to be in the vicinity. But you're definitely getting at least you would know this much, Miranda, just because your husband's terrible at describing directions in role-playing games, that you're definitely not going to be able to hit two birds at one stone. Like, they're not going to be in the same area.
Of course.
But you're not going away from either one of them. You're definitely going to be still in the vicinity of both.
So, and I'm telling you this, the DM.
Yeah, of course. This is player to DM. Yeah.
So
we're above the board.
The reason I wanted to try to see if we could do anything about the mirror first is because, one, then Candle will owe me, and she needs to help me out.
Right.
Two, if we can get it without shit going completely wonky, that's ideal, obviously, but also, if I unlock the fountain, shit's gonna go nuts anyway. So I would much rather do the potential shitstorm than actually trigger a real shitstorm.
Right.
You can't really miss that, like, bright-ass light that's gonna show up from it and whatever, and like it being like da-da-da.
Yeah, the giant pillar of magical color that will erupt into their world after an earthquake, based off your first one.
Yes.
Yeah, and it's almost as if your husband / DM considered that I know which way Miranda would probably go.
Yeah.
But then you always surprise me, like when you dress up like a cook. So, that's why I love to make this world to play in. It's not railroady per se. You have directions, but then you have so much room to, as Snape would put it, flounce. So.
See, look, it makes more sense if people understand that Miranda likes to take the path of least resistance and the one that will generate the least amount of work down the road. So if I don't have to use things, I don't need to. Because I'm the kind of person who I will have something in Fallout. I'll be like, oh, I'm going to save it. Oh, I'm going to save it. Oh, I'm going to save it. And then I never use it. And I end up with 18 mini nukes in my inventory that I never used.
Oh, do you remember the fat man went and launched 4 of them?
I had it and I never used it because I was like, I gotta save it, and then I never used it. So
I
that's
after
me
it.
in real life.
Yeah, I understand. It is you in real life. I get it. Trust me.
Look, man, I got water purification tablets in the cabinet in there. I've got emergency radiation tablets.
And you have your hoarding husband, which is the exact same way, and you need stuff that we don't even need. So. And
I've activated charcoal because everything in life is just in case. So.
Which way do you want to go, straight or left?
So you said that the mirror was either straight or left.
Mm-hmm.
Do I get a stronger sensation? Okay, so I'm going to do my best to I'm going to ask Caslin quietly to kind of go down both ways a little bit and see if he detects anything, and then I'm going to ask him to escort me essentially down a little to the left and then backtrack and then down a little straight just to see if I get a stronger pull either way.
Gotcha. You start going left, and as you're going, Candle says, all right, we're beneath the manor, I believe. As you come up, and there seems to be a dead end. And you're looking up, and the stone is sleek, and it's sleek in front of you, and there's a curvature to the end of this hall as well. And you look down, and there is, seems to be a trough of water there. It's a small trough, it's definitely nothing that you could dig through, but you see a trough of water coming through. And the smell is not very acrid yet. It's not gray water per se. So
okay,
there's that.
So backtrack and go straight.
Caslin goes, hold on a minute. He's going to search.
And he's got inspiration.
He does, and he may just use it now, depending. What is your inspiration currently, if I may ask?
1d8.
Okay, well, let's see. Does he? Can he roll it after he makes the first roll before telling the DM? That's right. Okay. Yeah, he's definitely going to use that inspiration. Hold on, my thing didn't load right. He goes, wait a minute. Look here. Look.
And I look.
Thanks to his shot of dopamine that you gave out, there is a stone he grabs and taps it a little bit with his toe, and it wiggles, and he pulls it out, just kind of shimmy, and it's to the right. And as he does so, setting it very gently to the left, he goes to put his hand, and Kendall goes, be careful. He goes, yeah, I know, I'll feel for sharp edges. Leah, if I lose my hand, can you heal it?
I can stop the bleeding.
That's reassuring, I guess.
I can let you borrow a mage hand. I don't know.
Reaches inside, and it almost to where, his halfling form is all the way up to the shoulder, and he's like, bump. And then he says, I got something. And then you hear, not loud. It's a bit of a thump. It echoes a little bit. And then you hear, as this stone wall slides left, Caslin barely pulling his hand back out before he gets pinned in the wall. And you see another tunnel in front of you heading straight.
Ooh. Does the pole down that way, or?
Oh, yeah. You definitely feel the mirror in that direction. It's now more towards in front of you if you go down this secret tunnel.
So, is the place where his hand was, or anything, you said it's gone?
Yeah, it slid into the wall. He reached underneath to create the mechanism, and it slid this wall out of the way.
I'm going to ask Candle to just, put a mark, near that area, just in case, just, it with, an arrow pointing or something, in here, just in case.
Absolutely. And she makes a trio of quick dots on the wall that seem to be kind of in a square shape. And you look up, and Caslin goes, I know how to read that. It's thieves' can.
Ah, perfect.
But you, Miranda,
yeah,
it's like Braille. It's exactly Braille, basically, but just dot form.
Uh-huh.
And that is how thieves' can is basically done in this world. There's a little tidbit I'd like to throw out you may not have noticed.
And I could, if I really wanted to, I could probably cast Comprehend Languages and read it, because Thieves can't.
Ooh, can comprehend languages read? Thieves can't.
If you can speak in Thieves can't and write in Thieves can't, and it's a language in and of itself, technically.
Ooh, that's a good, like, I'm going to have to ask Alex that one. I agree you can.
I'm not interested in doing that now. It's just
of course,
a future reference, sort of like, not that I think Leah would really use magic. I think she'd like study it for 10 minutes and figure it out, because that's Leah. But
yeah, of course. And just to be honest, Miranda, I mean, one of the reasons I love doing this podcast with you is not only because we're building and telling a story together and having a good time, but we're also like a D&D podcast for discussing like the magics and how
the mechanics of it.
Yeah, like the mechanics and how you cannot abuse the vagueness of some of the wording, but how you can just be inspired and creative because of it.
Creative problem solving is a really critical skill. Like, it's something that I was actually mentioning to one of my clients that I work with, that I noticed a lot of the this is not a diss on the young folk and like the curse you young children. I've just noticed that a lot of the younger generation doesn't do a lot of that creative problem solving the way like we really did growing up, either because, you know, and I'm not saying it's universal for millennials or whatnot, but we didn't really have the same kind of, you know, limits on our creative problem solving, because we did play games like this because we didn't have the variety to choose from and so on. So I think it's an important skill to work on developing and flexing. You know, you gotta use it or lose it.
Yeah, use it or lose it. Absolutely.
Sorry, not to derail, but yeah.
You didn't derail. No. Like I said, this podcast is for us to have these kind of discussions. But yeah, we can get back to the game. So you have this tunnel in front of you, and I would like for you to give me a perception check with advantage, along with the others, of course, being there with you.
18, thank goodness, because I don't have great perception.
Wonderful. Your nose immediately picks up on a smell. It is a delicious smell, as if something has been cooked recently. It's definitely not the oven is almost done making the deliciousness. This is an after effect, but you can still faintly smell spices on the air. At the end of this tunnel, you can see a line of orange candlelight up at the very, very, very bottom. And that's about it.
I'm gonna look to Caslin and Candle, because they're my, you know, pocket rogues.
Yeah, your pocket rogues. Candle goes, it would seem we have found a way into the manor. I would assume we have found a basement of some sort. Secret tunnels. It's crazy how frequent they are in this city. Most of the catacombs and stormways and sewageways of Easeway have secret tunnels that we have almost all of them mapped out, except for, of course, this castle, because there's no connection from the city to the castle. Fascinating. Go ahead, Caslin. Leah, I'm right behind you.
So, keep looking for trapperoonies.
Caslin is doing that as you step forward, but there doesn't seem to be any traps.
I imagine, like, and again, I still want to be very cautious, but if it was a door that was already hidden and everything, I would imagine that if you felt like this place was very secure, you're less likely to put traps. Or if you didn't know it was there.
There you go. Or if it was forgotten, which is a very big possibility, because as you look and you kind of reach out and like if you touch the wall, you would come away with a lot of like old grime and stuff of definitely being untouched for a while. There are no footprints here.
Excellent.
You come up to the door or you come up to a stone wall.
Can I have, I would like to put, like, right as we pass the threshold of this, and, like, right outside, I want to drop some of those marbles also from myself.
Okay.
Just kind of wedge them against the wall, just to have them there for future reference so I can locate them.
How many marbles are you dropping?
Well, I'm dropping one on the outside where Caslin found the switch, one on the inside right when we pass the threshold, and then, you said we're approaching the end of the...
Yeah.
So I'll probably drop another, I'm not dropping them, like, tink! I'll place another one there.
I got you.
I know, like, people called it such a crappy movie, but I really liked it. It just makes me think of Aeon Flux. She has those little things that she puts out, and then when she whistles, they turn into marbles, and they roll up and blow things up. But just
yeah. Well, these are not magical exploding marbles, but
I know,
I do like that you like them.
So cool to have, though.
Caslin fiddles with something, and all of a sudden, very quietly, it's not a stone door actually. It's a hard wooden panel, like the inside of an old house that has pathways in between the walls. You know, that you could walk and such, to get. And you have the plaster and the wooden boards, stuck. You know what I'm talking about, right?
Oh yeah, the priest holes and stuff.
Yeah, there you go. There's sounds like a metallic light latch, and then the panel hinges outward, and you seem to be in this hallway before you, empty, with this copper. It has a copper tile of different colored copper, all stuck throughout the floor here. And you hear some noises as well. You are definitely in a basement. You hear what sounds like the movement of a broom somewhere behind one of these doors, and maybe some water being splashed further on as well. But you are definitely in the cellar of the main manor, you would think.
Okay. I'm going to turn to Kazlan and Candle and point to the tiles and kind of do do they look sus to you? Sort of like expressive gesture / shrug.
Kendall whispers, in a stage whisper, of course. I don't think the help are avoiding traps down here.
Well, I was thinking more of like alarmed, or like sensors. I don't know. Am I thinking too 21st century here, Connor?
In a world where magic is frowned upon outside of the church and the lady seem to be at odds, I don't think this place is going to be trapped by magic.
Okay, so another marble goes inside, and then I'm going to kind of so is this flush, or we have to step out and down?
You step out. It's pretty flush. You actually kind of have to step up a little bit, like a 6-inch ledge. But Miranda, like you see the trim along the baseboard we have here, like it's up high enough that somebody that's always here wouldn't notice unless they're looking for it. There's a small little gap where that light was coming from underneath, where the door could hinge out, but it looks you have to step up a little bit.
Okay, well, I just want to have a place to tuck one of my marbles.
Yeah, no, you've tucked 4 marbles in this one location. You're good to go.
I like marbles, okay?
Before you step out, Candle reaches past you and comes up and looks at Kaz and goes, "You know what you do?" And Kaz goes, "Right. Watch this, Leah. First and foremost, they are going to go into stealth mode. Do you want to stealth with them?"
Well, I'm going to do what I can.
Okay.
Yes.
Roll me a stealth check, and I'll roll them.
I do wonder if I should be invisible here. I got a nat 20.
Well, that's good.
Damn. Nat 20 plus 2, so 22.
Right. So both the rogues step out and then step left out of your vision because you're still in the tunnel. And all of a sudden you see the light sources near you, these candles on the wall, vanish. And then the next ones down vanish. And then they vanish. And you can see very briefly Candle's hand come up. And you've noticed before Candle's palm has a leather patch on it where it is string wrapped over her middle finger. And she is using that, and she clamps down on top of the candles as they are moving along, and Kazlan seems to be reaching up with some kind of tool he has, and they are knocking out the candles as you go. And then you hear, "Come on, Leah."
Yeah. Keeping to the shadows, staying against the wall, trying to follow as close to where they've already been.
Right. Is there anything you would like to do in this hallway, or you want to continue working down with them as well?
Just sort of listening to the sounds to see if like any of the... I'm along the edges. I'm not walking straight down. Just to kind of get like a vague sense of who's behind what doors.
Gotcha.
You know, like
give me a
behind one. Like I'm listening for like cutlery, dishes, talking, jostling. You know, like kind of to give an idea of what might be behind the doors.
Right. Give me a perception check.
12.
Plus.
No, that's it. 11 plus 1, so 12.
You do hear the sweeping sound coming from the door to your left. The door to your right is very quiet as the rogues are going along and dousing all of the candles. They get to the last one on the left, and as soon as they do, a door opens across the hallway. And you hear a noise as some people are talking, and it seems like somebody's about to step out. What do you do?
Where did you say? Directly at the very end of the hallway?
Oh, yeah. Right here. Right down there. You have a reaction. What are you going to do? As this person seems to be stepping out.
Is there a doorway behind me that I could just kind of slip into? Was there noise in there?
Ooh, there is a doorway behind you. You can certainly try to go for that one if you'd like.
Was there noise in it?
What do you mean noise?
Like, did I hear
there was no noise
one?
no, there's no noise in this one.
I mean, I'll try. I'll see if the door opens quietly.
You look in front of you, and the rogues are gone. You have no idea where they went.
Great.
So you're gonna try the door?
Yeah.
Give me a sleight of hand check.
Oh.
That.
Does that count?
Yes, if you can see it, it does count.
Okay.
Well, if you want to roll on the table and it counts, that's fine.
No, it's all right. It was 18.
Of course, it counts. Ooh, the stakes are high. 18?
Yeah.
You grab the door. It is well oiled. Turn the knob, and it opens easily as it's seen this individual comes walking out, talking, and it's a dwarven lady. As she goes to shut this door behind her and turn, and by that time you have vanished into this door. Do you shut it behind you?
Most of the way.
Okay. Most of the way door shut behind you. You look around and you are now in a cellar. There are a bunch of barrels stacked in the corner and for food barrels and also some crates as well, excuse me. Along the shelves you see wedges of cheese, bags of flour, you see things of vegetables and fruits that are in wooden bowls. Very Skyrim, fill your pockets full of food esque to it, and also 3 wine barrels as well in here. Just setting the scene. You hear another door open and close down the way. What do you do?
Are footsteps coming down anywhere, or? No
footsteps that I know of that you can hear.
I'm gonna glance around the room again, just in case.
Okay. Nothing in here out of odd unless you want a snack.
No.
Okay.
Unless there's something labeled like, this is super expensive potion. I'm going to peek back out into the hallway.
Ooh, perception check.
4.
4. As you see, you can at least see that light is starting to come back on, and as you peek outside, you see right there is one of the a helper who is wearing some drab brown dwarven lady wearing some drab hefty sturdy brown fabric, definitely not dirty or peasantry. Nice clothing, nice spun, just simple and plain. And it seems to be going along and lighting these candles again. Okay. You open as you're proceeding with a 4. That's about all you can ascertain from that.
All right. I'm going to duck back in and I'm not going to put on the chef's hat, but I'll put on the chef's jacket.
Okay.
And I'm going to grab some paper from my bag, just like a regular paper, and I'm going to hastily scrawl just some food ingredients on it.
Okay.
And I'm going to, so you said there's random foodstuffs in here. Are there any spices or herbs that are in containers or being hung up to dry?
Absolutely.
I'm going to peruse some of those and grab a few that are not really that interesting, but ones that get used in the kitchen a lot, so you'd probably run out.
Right. You hear the footsteps coming closer outside as you're looking and perusing through these herbs. The cellar door opens.
I'm gonna glance at my list, glance back at the shelf. I'm gonna tap the stylus or pencil on my nose and go, no, that's not it.
Oh, hello there.
Oh, hello.
Who are you?
I'm one of the assistant chefs, and I'm really looking to see if we've got all the bits we need. You know how it is. These herbs, you think you've got enough, and then when you're looking for one, you can't find it.
I didn't realize Lila needed an assistant chef. When did you start?
Oh, I'm new. I just came in over the way. Am I doing it right? I'm so anxious and nervous. I don't know if I'm doing anything right. And I can't find this herb, and it's just caraway, and I'm having a hard time with this. Do you see caraway anywhere?
Roll me a deception check.
And I'm going to do the thing where I'm appealing to her sense of pretty please help me out here.
I got you. If there's a maternal bone, it's going to be tickled.
Deception.
Mm-hmm.
Deception. Where's my deception?
Yeah.
Dirty 20.
Ooh. Oh, you poor dear. No, here it is. She walks up and she begins to hand you some things, and you be careful. You know, the main cook, she can be quite a beast, so go ahead and get back in there. And what are you preparing for breakfast tomorrow?
I don't know. She just told me that I had to find these, and I feel like it's sort of a test because I don't think there's any such thing.
Here. Hold on. She walks over and grabs 2 wooden mugs off the shelf that are clean and goes over, and you hear as she turns and hands you, here, take a sip of this. It'll ease your nerves a little bit. And she goes and takes a sip of it herself. I was coming in for a nightcap before bed, so.
Oh, I could use it.
Be careful out there. The candles were burned down. I had to relight them.
Oh. Does that happen often?
No. That was very strange, but it is what it is. So maybe there was a breeze or something that got down here, or, you know, a waft from the chimney. Who knows in this drafty old place? I know. It seems a bit haunted, you know. Ooh, don't say that. No? Don't say it's haunted. I'm deathly terrified of ghosts. Oh. Are there ghosts? I don't. Are you sure you're okay, dear? I'll be fine. I'm just going to kind of sink onto one of the crates and sip the beverage she handed me. There you go. After a few more minutes, after she introduced herself and some small talk, she tells you, well, have a good night. I'm off to wash up and go to bed. I'll gather up the herbs in hand and say thank you very much for being so kind. Oh, yes, no problem at all. And I'll follow her out the door, and... Indeed. You see as she goes walking forward and goes through the last door at the end of the hallway as you are standing there now in your chef clothes. Yep. What would you like to do? That was good. Good job, dear. Thank you. Well, I'm just going to keep walking like normally, just kind of following if there's a scent of food anywhere or anything. But also, it's been way more than 10 minutes. I'd have to cast that again. Oh, yeah. No, you feel like the mirror is somewhere above you now. But as the spell dissipates, you have a sense of where you probably need to go. And if you want to cast it again, you can, or you can wait. But as you come to this crossways, you feel a hand reach out and grab your calf. Is it a little hand or is it a furry hand? It is a little hand. Oh. I don't look down. I just kind of go, yeah. Good job. We got to go that way. And you feel him kind of like nudge you in the opposite direction of where he is. I start heading that way. Caslin steps out of the shadows, and the two of you walk down the left hallway that you're now standing in, and there is a set of stairs there in front of you. And from behind the stairs, the lupine candle steps out and looks at you and goes, that was fun. I thought we were going to have to kill her. Oh, no, she was nice. Let's not. Nice can get our heads cut off in here. Okay. Good job, though. Shall we go upstairs? Sure. All right. The three of you very slowly begin to make your way upstairs into this mansion of the paranoid Lady Anessa Colta. And we're going to see what happens the next time we come, or in the next episode. Dun, dun, dun. Yeah, that's what I was thinking, literally. Dun, dun, dun. Yeah. You having fun? Oh, yeah. All right. Well, good. Well, say goodbye, Miranda. Goodbye, Miranda. Goodbye, everybody.
Thank you for listening. Please leave a review anywhere you found us. You can reach out to us on Twitter at Bountiful Bards. We hope to see you again on the civilized road.
And bring bread and cheese.
As the story goes, until then.